What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I haven't been in this spot in a long time. Been super busy with work, so I've just been putting out videos when I can. But today, I got a quick movie review. Joker 2, Folie à Deux. I don't know how to say it. It's a French word, but we're going to get into the review here. And just to give you a heads up, this will probably be heavy with spoilers. And if you haven't watched the movie, maybe don't watch this review. But if you have watched the movie, comment down below what you thought about it and give it a rating out of 10. I'm interested to hear what everyone else thinks about the movie. So I wrote some of my thoughts down here. But overall, I liked this movie. I think it was pretty solid. Maybe not as good as the first one, although I'm not going to say I was like the biggest fan of the first one. I genuinely liked the movie. It was good, but I don't think it was... It's just not my favorite movie, but I guess that doesn't mean it wasn't good. It was a very solid movie, good story. I think what really stood out about the first movie is Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal as the Joker. He's just a great actor and really good in the role. This movie, no different. I think he did just as good of a job, if not better. Just that really like... It's interesting. Something these movies do well is they almost make you feel bad for an irredeemable character, which I guess was kind of the whole controversy about the first movie. A lot of people online started acting like he was a good guy or like he was in the right, and he's clearly not. So I think that's always interesting how movies and shows, like a lot of times the villain ends up becoming like the coolest character. Like things I could think of as like Homelander and The Boys, or like Walter in Breaking Bad. Like fans can't help but just like love the villain, and I think that's like a testament to how well the character is written and how well it's portrayed. I don't think it's a bad thing for you to like maybe not support the villain, but at least enjoy the performance. And I think Joker is a good example of that, because in both movies you almost feel bad for him, and you, not that you're rooting for him, but like you kind of are, which is I think really interesting. I will say that maybe this sequel didn't need to happen, but we're in that era now where every movie gets a sequel. The first Joker, I'm pretty sure, was like the first rated R movie to make over $1 billion. It did super well, so it was no surprise that Warner Brothers wanted to pump out another one. Apparently, Joaquin Phoenix and the director, Todd Phillips, didn't want to do a second one at first, but I think now they're saying they originally wanted to. So I don't know if they changed their minds, but it was kind of like interesting that they continued the story, because I felt like it ended on a good note and didn't really need a sequel. But I'm not gonna say like the sequel wasn't good. It just maybe wasn't necessary. This movie, I don't know if you've heard, but is pretty much a musical, which was really interesting. Honestly, didn't mind it. I thought the musical bits were really well like woven into the movie and the story. Just having Harley and Joker kind of falling in love and imagining things by singing. Thought that was like a nice element. Although I will say after a while the musical numbers got annoying, and I've never watched a musical where I thought like, this wouldn't be better if it was just a regular movie. Every time I watch a musical, I'm like, I kind of just wish it was a regular movie, because I feel like the musical numbers kind of pull you out of the story. But I think as far as musicals go, it fit well into this movie, and they did it well. And Joaquin Phoenix actually has a great voice, and then obviously Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn was really really superb singing. She's got a great voice, and I think she played the character well. One thing that stood out about this movie series is like the cinematography, just the dark, like grimy, sad, depressing vibe that it captures so well. And that's partially because of the set design. Like Gotham is really cool. And just how it's portrayed, and all the actors just like really bring you into the environment and just kind of like immerse you. And this movie is no different. Really good music too, not just like the musical numbers, but like the actual score. The soundtrack was really good. One thing that I thought was interesting was they always referred to the months when they were talking in court, but wouldn't say the year. So they've kind of like avoided dating this universe, which I think is interesting, because it's like kind of has a classical feel, but then they have like some updated technology. Like at least they had like the voice messaging system on the phone, so it's kind of hard to place when this movie happens. Maybe it's like the 80s, but I kind of like how it's like a timeless universe that they have set up. One thing I wanted to say about Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn was I think she fit well in, and how she was just kind of like an obsessed fan who wanted to see if she could get Joker free. I don't really understand what her motive was. I know that she's relatively like normal. She's not actually mentally ill. She checks herself into the hospital. So what was she actually trying to prove? Like, she is a psychologist, so maybe she was trying to prove that there was a second personality stuck inside Joker, Arthur Fleck. I don't know if she was trying to prove her own psychological like theory, or maybe she just wanted to watch the world burn, because I know she just liked violence. She just caused violence for no reason. So maybe she just wanted to see an uprising and see Joker go free in trial. But I just thought it was a little like, her intentions were a little vague. And just at the end where Arthur Fleck owns up to his crimes and not blaming his alternate personality, the Joker, she just leaves him, which I thought was interesting. She only wanted him for the Joker. So I don't know her whole intentions, but maybe it was better that it was vague. That ending was crazy. I do think it's cool that Joker kind of owns up to his crimes, like I said, and I think that was like a good twist. Like, clearly the villain's not redeemable. I think he did the responsible thing by owning up to it, and you kind of see him, you kind of see that turning moment when he's talking to forget the Mr. Puddles, the little person who he traumatizes by killing his roommates. That whole scene was crazy, but I think it was cool to kind of like show Joker's, like, he kind of cracks, and he kind of realizes like he's become a monster and he needs to own up to his crimes. And I thought that was like a good actual lesson to the end of the movie. I did think it was a little unsatisfying. Spoiler alert, how Joker gets stabbed in the end. He's basically just dead. I mean, obviously I don't think they could have gone another movie, but it was just very jarring to see him killed. But I guess I don't know where else the story could have ended up, and I don't know where else they could have gone with it besides him getting killed and getting what he deserved, as the final punchline says. I thought it was an interesting ending. I don't know if I liked it, but I don't really know if I would have liked another ending. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it almost felt unsatisfying, but also like deserved. So I don't know how I feel about it. One thing I'm not a huge fan of with these two movies, though, is how they just kind of slap the name Joker and like other DC characters into this movie. Like Harley Quinn and Joker, like they definitely fit the like comic counterpart. Like they definitely were Joker and Harley, but I think one thing that's a little different about this Joker is he's never in control and things just kind of happen to him, whereas like the classic Joker is just chaos. He's crazy, he's in control, he's like an actual like threat. So I think it is just an interesting take on Joker. The way they handled Harley Quinn was great in my opinion. You just see more of her manipulative side, which I think is a lot better than the live action Margot Robbie we've gotten. She's just kind of crazy in those movies, and I think it was cool to see like the more refined version of Harley. But overall, I like Joker 2. I know I just rambled there. Hopefully my review made a little bit of sense. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. I think it was good. I think my final rating will be a 7 out of 10. It had room to be better, but it was still really good, and I think it's worth going to watch. Anyways, that's the end of this review. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.